Hi, welcome to a semi-normal rant about joy and despair. It is something I've been wanting to speak about a lot, especially as someone who is very open about my experiences, because there has been a drastic shift in the content I make now compared to what I did when I started, being tips on how to safely experiment with yourself, with your identity and stuff, and how what kind of stuff kind of helped me get better and feel safer in my own skin, to a lot of talk about very sad topics. And I've been like kind of sitting with it, wondering why it's become that. And I know for a lot of people there is almost a stereotype of the trans experience is just depression, being sad, and all the people that are trans are always sad, and it's not always like that. But I've so many times spoken about really sad topics that it kind of begun feeling like that was all I could associate it with. I began to wonder why, and it was because my life has changed since I came out in both good and bad ways. But the experiences that built up to it have kind of already been told, so I don't have anything else I could tell. I could sit here and talk that and say that yes, but not being able to transition in this country and having a lot of bad experiences with it, I am still genuinely happy I am a part of the trans community. But there's also that despair to it that I find so intriguing, I guess, in a sense. I've always been a fan of psychology. And I think it's a lot more about what it implies rather than the experience itself, because it implies that there is a world that sucks and that can't accept the fact that people are a little bit different, that some people want to do certain things to better fit what they feel on the inside, like HRT and bottom top surgery, etc., etc. And I feel like most people have probably wished that there's a world where we will be accepted, we will be loved and treated equally, because there is a world that doesn't. This world doesn't do that. That's where the despair comes from, not from us being trans, though the dysphoria is kind of hard and really bad, and it is something I will talk about. It's the world we live in that sucks so much right now and has become worse and worse with all these new bills and laws that have been introduced. And it makes the experience harder to enjoy and be happy about. But what makes it better is genuinely the community I've been surrounded by and that has found me through my content. Each and every person, you don't probably notice it, but my comfort is so elevated by the fact that simply people remember my name, my pronouns, and that they don't focus on the fact that I'm trans. It's not, oh yeah, that's a trans guy, blah 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 blah. They focus on me and listen to my experiences, which I'm so privileged to be able to give. And I feel like that is the best part of this experience, is being able to give a genuine community and love to other people, because that is something that I didn't have as a kid, and I for a long time didn't have. I've spoken so much about the bad stuff about trans, but I haven't really spoken about my own experiences. I will not go too much into it, mostly due to because I don't like venting. I don't like being a vent person and talk about serious topics. But I had a particularly bad relationship that ended because the person did not want to accept the fact that I was trans. And not only verbally, but in other ways treated me poorly. And it fucked me up for quite a while. The person stalked me, and for a while I couldn't talk about it because of that. And it scared the crap out of me. And it made me feel like those labels did nothing, because in my mind I was still born the way I was born and I couldn't change that. But but I was given so much goddamn fucking power when I simply began to comfort for myself. I simply put myself first. Non-binary to you might just mean a little label, a little fancy little label that I can put on to, you know, appear in a certain way to some people or be perceived a certain way. But to me, it is reclaiming a part of myself. Being able to express myself how I want to, be perceived the way I want to, even if I physically cannot at the moment. And in some aspects, I don't think I can ever. But it changed so much. Just that tiny thing, the label itself, was enough. Because it allowed me to reclaim something that had been taken away from me. And that is probably the biggest thanks to my friends. And to the people who were around me and were with me. Even people that I don't no longer speak to. Dysphoria is also a huge part of it, and it's, I guess, one of the reasons why people talk about mental health issues and being depressed and really, really bad mentally because you cannot get HRT, you maybe have top surgery or bottom surgery or whatever, and you still feel dysphoria. I'm not super I don't have super much experience with that, but I do have experience with dysphoria due to not being able to get HRT. And though dysphoria sucks ass, there have been little things that have made my dysphoria better. And I think I might want to end the video on those topics. So, the things that helped my dysphoria were the ways I represented myself in media. For example, with Kate. Kate is how I want to look. In the silliest manner of sentence you'd ever want to hear someone say. But I have a furry, so, you know. And particularly on Minecraft I noticed, and places where you can customize how you look, going for a more androgynous or masculine person has genuinely, weirdly enough, helped my dysphoria alleviate, because in those moments I can kind of forget who I am on the outside and just look at the character and imagine myself as that. And it might sound very silly, role-playing a character, what is that? But for me, it's the small things that help when you can't really transition or get HRT. And I don't feel like we should judge people for that. If you also do those kind of things, know that I support that, and I just want the best for everyone. Another thing is, I think like kind of customizing with names, nicknames, that sort of thing. I often customize my nicknames for my friends only because I want to experiment, and it is the safest way I've been able to experiment. Though my friends are super safe and they are awesome and amazing, that's not the point of that. And another part was VR chat, which really helped me be able to affirm my furry side and my androgynous and transmasculine side in a safe way. But aside from that, just being able to talk to people, talk here, have a community and a voice in this matter, genuinely has been weirdly fucking therapeutic for me. And I just want to end the video by saying thank you so fucking much for everything, for being here, for giving me a voice in something that I did not have much of a say in, and allow me to reclaim a part of myself that I still struggle with every day. Don't get me wrong, but I have learned to begin to love. Thank you.